Hi, this is Ramya, a pattern recognition student, and my project is on optical character recognition implementation. Going paperless is something that we hear these days everywhere. To achieve that goal, we need a system that helps in reducing the paper usage that we have today. And in such situation, optical character recognition comes handy. The potential of OCR is huge as it enables users to harness the power of computers to access printed documents. It is already used in many professions, like in legal attorney's office by blind people to scan the documents and convert into blind readable form, and officers to register invoices in digital form. Today's OCR system add multiple algorithms of neural network to even identify slightest nuances in text characters and convert them into actual text. Thereby, a variety of handwritings, fonts can accurately be identified and converted into digital forms. What is OCR? OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition, and it is a method of classifying optical patterns in a digital image. The optical characters corresponds to alphanumeric and other special characters. Below is the example of how a OCR text conversion is done. So there is an image that has the characters scanned, and then when that image is fed into a OCR system, a text file which is in ASCII format is presented. Text conversion is something in which a printed document is converted into ASCII code that can be used by any word processor, text processor, and can be stored for future use. Statistics says that the current world's requirement from paper to machine readable conversion of text is exceeding 2 trillion pages and is still growing. OCR is a mechanical or electronic conversion of scanned image representation of a text in a machine encoded text. It refers to the branch of computer science that involves reading the text from the paper or an image and forms a computer understandable format. One of the application is that used in banking sector to realize the amount of money entered in a check using a hand, thereby reducing the amount of effort required by humans to process checks. Why do we need a OCR? A wide variety of applications, as said by above, is necessitating the use of OCR. People wish to scan the document and use it in text format. License plate numbers, for example, can be scanned as images and then converted into a text so that it can be read and be inputted to other systems. Zip code recognition in post office is another example of an application of OCR system. Invoice management in offices is also another application. This is an overview of OCR. Any OCR system has three or four major steps with pre-processing, training, feature extraction, recognition, and post-processing. The accuracy of the characters being recognized is greatly influenced by the quality of the actual text and noise level present in them. Noises can be actually due to several factors, like the nth copy will be degraded in quality, printer variation like monochrome or color, text, and different font sizes. Documents age is also a factor that causes noise. These factors influence the quality of the input text and hence recognition of the final text. The steps included in the pre-processing are binarization, morphological operators, and segmentation. Binarization is something where the given image can be converted into a black and white image with a threshold value, wherein morphological operators is the process of removing isolated specks and holes in character set and can use the majority operator. Segmentation is something that checks for the connectivity of the shapes. Then training. This is the second step in the process of OCR. It reduces the amount of data by extracting only information that has relative relevancy and that results in a vector of scalars, and this should be accompanied by normalizing the feature for distance measurement, and finally, model estimation is done using set of finite feature vectors using a statistical method for each set of training data. Thirdly, feature extraction. The letters generally can be divided according to their structures like loops, branches, lines, dots, zigzags, etc. These features can be extracted for text recognition more than statistical features like invariant moments, pixel densities, etc. For moment-based features, Hughes transform, Fourier transform are some of the techniques used in feature extraction recognition. This is the actual recognition and it is done by running algorithms on individual letters or words. The famous algorithm or HMM, that is the hidden Markov model, the neural networks, and in this project specifically, neural network is used. Actually, the recognizer is confronted with a series of patterns with specific features that must determine the character buckets. Post processing. This is mostly used to improve the accuracy rate of the text by error checking methods built in the processor like spell check. This is a very important step, and this project also describes some methods used in the post processing techniques that help in increasing recognition accuracy by a greater factor. This is the block diagram of the method involved. The total OCR system is actually divided into two phases, training and the final recognition and testing. So the given neural network is being trained with a variety of data. In this case, say alphabets of different fonts, different sizes, uh, different characters are being inputted as an input to the OCR system. So the neural network extracts this data and keep it in a .mat form so that it can be used for comparison in future use. Slowly the network is built and network database is elaborated. And then in the recognition, we have the phases mentioned previously, the pre-processing, feature extraction, and classification. So what happens is the test data is compared against the training data and the final text image is being formed. This is an example of the code snippet that is being used. The actual algorithm works with three major functions: line crop, letter crop, and read letter. Basically, line crop, what it does is this function is used to separate the total image into lines by line image so that it can be used for further processing. This function is recursively called so that the image is split into lines. The function takes the black and white image that is being formed by normalizing the grayscale image using a threshold and return back the first line and the remaining lines separately. Letter crop. This function is used to extract letter by letter in a single line of extracted image using previously mentioned line crop function. The first letter and the remaining letters are extracted using the same techniques as line extraction. The spaces are used to actually differentiate between one word and the other. Read letter. The space vector is used to find and insert spaces at the appropriate locations. A text file is opened in write mode and the read letter function is called. This function uses the correlation between the input image and the created template matrix, which uses the trained data, and it's outputting a string that corresponds to the actual ASCII letter. Results and discussion. This is a sample input image that is scanned previously, and this is the output text image when it is run through our OCR system. This is another example that indicates the error that is being induced by the OCR system. Here you can see that the numbers are not being proper, the uppercase and lowercase letters are mismatched, there is no proper spacing here. So these are some of the errors that are being induced in the OCR system. Error analysis. This is something that is very important in OCR system. Most of the errors that the output text we have got is because of the intrinsic nature of the algorithm that is used to process the given image and the number and the quality of text patterns that is used to train the neural network system. An OCR algorithm will always fail to recognize certain types of fonts, font size, and resolution. This is because of the intrinsic behavior of the algorithm. If we define the domain where the error occurs, it might be classified as independent, where the error domains are mutually exclusive, and overlapped, where the error domains are interdependent. Post processing is one of the techniques that is being used to analyze the error and resolve the errors. To detect an error without human interruption, we can consider a scheme where we have the same input fed into three OCR systems and the output is compared and are not identical. We can assume that an error is produced in the output, but then there is a possibility that all the three systems are producing the same error and hence all three outputs will be identical. Hence, choosing the OCR system is highly important and care should be taken while selecting the algorithm. They should be largely different from each other so that the overlapping area between these three systems should be as minimal and as less as possible. Three or more OCR systems output is to be considered in today's days to make sure that the error that is being found is absolutely correct. There is simple spell checker that can be used, say for example, that is used in Microsoft Word so that the spellings are made sure it is correct. Conclusion. This project is implemented with a very limited accuracy. A simple algorithm is used to understand the mechanics behind the OCR like pattern classification, segmentation, and feature extraction. Future work might include to build error detecting and correcting algorithms. Thank you.